In under 24 hours, one Russian oil refinery went up in flames. A nuclear-capable airbase caught fire, and Russia's version of Amazon lost part of its warehouse network. This is what a modern drone war actually looks like in 2026. 2 countries. One night. Over 130 drones in the air. And by the time the sun came up, both sides were accusing each other of the same thing, targeting civilians. So here's the real question. Ukraine says it's hitting Russia's war economy. Russia says the same strikes are killing ordinary people. Who's actually getting hit, and is any of this actually working? Let's start with the backstory, because this didn't come out of nowhere. This war has now run for more than 4 years, and it has fundamentally changed shape. It's not trench warfare anymore. It's a long-range strike war, where both sides are hitting targets hundreds of kilometers behind the front lines. Russia's main weapon of choice right now is the FAB glide bomb, a Soviet-era bomb retrofitted with satellite guidance. These things can carry up to 3,000 kilograms of explosives, and they're launched from Su-34 jets, flying far outside the range of Ukraine's standard air defenses. As one report put it, the munitions leave massive craters, and Ukraine currently has no effective means of intercepting them. Ukraine, for its part, can't match Russia gun for gun in conventional artillery. So Kyiv built something else instead, an indigenous long-range drone program aimed directly at Russia's economic backbone. Oil refineries, fuel depots, logistics networks. President Volodymyr Zelensky has publicly called this strategy Ukraine's long-range sanctions, saying, "We continue applying our long-range sanctions against Russian facilities that serve the war effort and finance the aggression." One specific target keeps coming up: wildberries. If you don't know it, think of it as Russia's version of Amazon. It's the country's largest online retailer. Ukraine claims wildberries has been used to distribute military-linked equipment. And it's worth noting that wildberries' banking arm was sanctioned by the European Union in July 2026 over its financial contribution to the Russian state budget. Since July 18, 2026, Ukrainian forces have reportedly struck about a dozen wildberries facilities. This isn't a one-off. It's a campaign. Now let's get into the 72 hours that actually triggered this video. On the night of August 1 into August 2, 2026, Russian Su-34 bombers dropped 8 glide bombs within a 90-minute window on residential districts in the southern Ukrainian city of Zaporizhzhia. According to regional governor Ivan Fedorov, the strikes killed a 71-year-old woman and injured 31 people, including a 16-year-old girl, while damaging 22 apartment buildings across 4 districts of the city. Fedorov said directly, 8 glide bombs dropped in just 90 minutes directly on residential neighborhoods. Ukraine's response came the same night, and it was massive. Kyiv's military confirmed it had struck Rosneft's oil refinery in Saratov, one of Russia's oldest refining facilities, processing somewhere between 4.8 and 7 million metric tons of crude oil annually, depending on the source. Ukraine's general staff said the strike sparked a fire, reportedly in the refinery's crude processing unit. This wasn't the first time the Saratov refinery has reportedly been hit by drones, at least 15 times since the start of the full-scale war. At the same time, Ukrainian forces reported hitting the Engels airbase, located just across the Volga River from Saratov. Engels is home to Russia's Tu-95 MS and Tu-160 strategic bombers, the same aircraft Moscow uses to launch missile strikes on Ukraine. Zelensky confirmed the strike directly, posting, "Last night in Russia's Saratov, more than 600 kilometers from the front line. 2 strategic facilities were hit, the Saratov oil refinery and the Engels military airbase." Ukraine's general staff also claimed strikes on the Ludanovskaya oil depot in Russia's Kaluga region, and a drone-related site near Novlya in Bryansk Oblast, which Ukraine says was used to store and launch attack drones. And the wildberries campaign kept going. Warehouses in Samara, specifically the Novosemykino Logistics Complex, a facility that opened in May 2025 and covers roughly 130,000 square meters, and in Vladimir region reportedly caught fire. Vladimir's governor, Alexander Avdeyev, said 3 people were injured in that strike. Samara's governor, Vyacheslav Fedorishchev, said there were no casualties at the Samara site and that the resulting fire was being put out. For scale, Russia's defense ministry claimed its forces intercepted 635 Ukrainian drones in that single overnight period. That number alone tells you how large this exchange actually was. But the most disputed and most serious incident of the week happened somewhere else entirely. on the Black Sea coast. Sensitive section, verify tone before publishing. In the village of Archipo-Osipovka, near Gelendzhik in Russia's Krasnodar Krai, a Ukrainian drone came down on a crowded public beach. According to the Krasnodar Krai operational headquarters, the death toll rose to 7 people, including 3 children, with close to 40 people injured and 17 hospitalized. An aide to Russia's health ministry, Alexei Kuznetsov, said 4 of the hospitalized, including 2 children, were in serious condition. Russian officials described the cause as falling drone debris. Some Ukrainian telegram channels reportedly attributed it to electronic warfare interference. Neither account has been independently verified. Separately, local reporting including from the Russian channel Ostorozhno Novosti said the city's head, Alexei Bogodistov, reported a drone threat at 8:34 a.m. and then posted 10 minutes later that the alert had been called off. Residents and tourists reportedly said they never heard ongoing sirens, despite the village having a warning system. This is being reported as a local emergency response gap, not as evidence of intent by any party. Russia also reported a wider casualty count from that same night of strikes. According to Honolulu Agency, Russia's overall claimed death toll reportedly reached 15 people nationwide. In Crimea, Russian installed head Sergei Aksanov said 4 people were killed. In Belgorod, acting governor Alexander Shuvayev said 4 people were killed and 17 injured, including 3 children, and claimed attacks on the region have more than doubled over the past 2 months. In Udmurtia, acting governor Olga Abramova reported 3 people killed. None of these Russian reported figures have been independently verified, and Ukraine has not commented on them. On the diplomatic side, this is where the story gets its clearest through line. President Zelensky used the moment to renew a public appeal for Patriot air defense systems, saying, "The world has Patriot missiles. What matters now is for our partners to make the political decision to provide the necessary packages." Anti-ballistic missiles must protect people, not sit in stockpiles. That appeal isn't happening in a vacuum. Reports indicate Western Patriot interceptor stockpiles have been significantly depleted, partly due to demand tied to the conflict involving Iran, leaving Ukrainian cities with limited defense against Russia's glide bomb barrages. Adding to the uncertainty, U.S. President Donald Trump reportedly stepped back last week from an earlier commitment to license Ukraine to manufacture Patriot systems domestically, saying discussions were continuing and that no final decision had been made. Zelensky has also reportedly floated an alternative using Elon Musk's Starlink network to help Ukraine target Russian missile launch sites, though officials have not confirmed whether that idea is actually being considered. Russia's foreign ministry, meanwhile, responded to the wave of Ukrainian strikes with its own framing. Spokeswoman Maria Zakharova said, "NATO and EU countries declared a policy of zero tolerance towards terrorism. Now, they themselves have become part of international terrorist activity following these attacks on civilians."